Hello, I'm Johnnie Cherblanc, and today we have with us the mayor of the city of Tulsa, the Honorable Dewey Bartlett. Mayor Bartlett,
Johnny,
thank you.
You're very welcome. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
You know, as mayor, and remembering your father, when he was governor, he was going to be the job-gettingest governor. And that's probably one of the most important items that the mayor has as well.
Right.
Do we see any corporate headquarters, businesses, industry, thinking about coming to Tulsa?
Well, we do. Matter of fact, we're working on a few right now. One thing is the Tulsa Chamber of Commerce, of which we work with very, very closely. They, about a year ago, hired a company to help us get in front of and get with the companies that they, in their view, feel like that we would have a real good shot at getting some corporate headquarters moved to Tulsa. That'd be very important. There are certainly, there's two right now that I know of that we're working on. One is in the oil and gas business, and the other is a manufacturer of note. So I think we really have opportunities. It takes a while for people to make those decisions. It kind of depends on the company. If it's a big corporate company, it's like working with any bureaucracy. It takes a while, and they have to have a reason. Smaller companies are a lot more versatile, and usually that's the case. There is trying to work on the owner, the principal of the company, and if he sees a good opportunity to move to Tulsa, then it's his decision alone usually. So we think we've got a shot at it. Probably if a decision was to occur, it would probably take about a year or so for all that to happen. But I think we have a real shot at it.
That's great.
Yeah.
On the other side of that coin, when I think of retirement place, I think of Miami, Florida, San Diego, California, Arizona. But just recently, AARP has named Tulsa as one of the top 5 places to retire.
Oh, boy, that was a big deal.
And it speaks well for the quality of life here in Tulsa.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, they listed us as number 2 out of those 10. So I thought that was pretty incredible. When they announced it, they came to us and told us what their decision was and why, and it was very, very good. Part of it was that Tulsa has such a strong commitment already to our senior citizens, to the quality of life that they need and that they enjoy. They also are aware that we in the mayor's office actually had made a decision a few months ago to have a summit in October of the reason that we need to have to emphasize the relationship between the senior citizens, but also the early generation that they are now producing, their grandchildren, in other words.
Right.
And that the opportunity for both of those generations to get together and talk about one's dreams and then one's experiences, not just necessarily looking at the health, but at the legacies that are being created by passing on generations, informational generation. But also, they liked our affordability of our city. Tulsa is a very affordable town. There are a lot of things that we have, and they focused, for example, as a good example, our museums. Our museums are very inexpensive and very good quality, so they see that as something that the seniors can get very involved with, something good to spend their time, but also something that's not going to cost an arm and a leg. So that was a very, very big positive aspect of it, part of their decision.
Well, I would assume that the BOK Center and the One Oak Ballpark also played in that because it gives them something to do and things to go see.
Gets them outdoors, gets them in a good, safe facility that's very nice, has good quality food, good value for the money, good parking, things safe, everything's good. So there were about 15 or 20 different questions and issues that they had that they wanted to see answered in a good, positive way, and we hit pretty good in all categories.
That's wonderful.
It was great.
Back in August of 2008 came the master plan for river development.
Yep.
Where do we stand on that right now? And I'm sure there's things being planned for the future, but Where are we going? in that area?
Well, there's some good things going. When I issued my first State of the City address almost a year ago now, I put as my top priority as far as economic development goes, the development of the river. It's the crown jewel that we all know and love, and we recognize it just intuitively that the river is such a great opportunity. We're very fortunate in Tulsa that we have a very generous community foundation, the Tulsa Community Foundation, that has made a decision and has purchased about 65 or 70 acres on the east side of the river near 31st Street, both sides, where the Blair Mansion is located.
Right.
They own that now. But they have some very significant plans for all of that land up and down the east side of Riverside Drive, north and south of 31st Street. And they've committed to spend $75, $100 million to put in a museum, parks, things for children, things for grandkids, things that are easily accessible, as well as maybe even moving the access to and from the river, make it easier. So a lot of good things are going to happen there. On the west side of the river, at the 21st Street Bridge, we, the city of Tulsa, we own collectively about 100 acres or so, plus where the concrete plant is, that's about 20-some acres. It's privately owned, and they have agreed to sell their property to the right buyer. Anyway, we have made a commitment that we've asked for a request for proposal from the private sector. We, the city of Tulsa, we sent out a notice along with a very good package showing what land we had and what we'd like to do with it. And we're asking the private sector, the developers, the people that are involved with recreational activities, give us a proposal on what you might do with our land, what you'd like to do with it. Would you like to put in different kinds of amusements like restaurants and bars, good places to have some fun, residential opportunities, offices, retail establishments, whatever it is, tell us what you'd like to do and let us know when you would do it and all that sort of thing. We're getting that information back sometime in the latter part of August. We then will have 2 months to make a decision on who we'd like to discuss whatever projected project that they come up with, and we'll have some discussion with them, negotiate some things, and hopefully we'll be able to announce a decision on who's going to help be the real strong mover in the private sector of developing our river. But that'll be the first step, and that's going to be a great opportunity because that land has the $1 million view. If they're standing on that land, you look up the river, you see downtown Tulsa, the skyline, especially at night. You see the hills, all the different places that have such a terrific amount of potential. It just really is. That is going to be a great opportunity for all of us, and we're looking forward to that very strongly.
Great. And to go along with that, with the OK, One Oak, the new museum, OSU, Tulsa.
Yep.
But the heart of the city, and it makes me sometimes want to cry. There are empty buildings in downtown Tulsa.
Yep.
What are we doing in that? Are we getting people to think about coming back downtown and revitalizing the area?
I speak very often about what the future looks for Tulsa, and I'm very positive, but I focus tremendously on the downtown area, and I use the word renaissance.
Okay.
Because I really believe that we are experiencing and we are now part of a real true renaissance in Tulsa, but specifically the downtown area. Besides the BOK Arena and the ballpark, with those two construction projects, the completion of them, that resulted in a lot of entertainment that has now been created. Again, restaurants, bars, places to take families to have a good time, have a good meal. And that has now led to a large number of used to be vacant buildings have now been converted into loft apartments or condominiums, but especially apartments. And matter of fact, my son, our oldest son, he is going to be moving into his apartment downtown with his roommate this month.
Hey.
So And one of the reasons is he wants to live near where he works and where his friends are. There's a large number of people that have moved in the downtown area. Anytime you can walk around downtown at night, even if there's not a concert being played at the BOK Arena or there's no ball game being played at the One Oak Field, there are people walking around, and a lot of people with their families, with their kids, with their grandkids, and they're having fun. They're having a great time. Downtown Tulsa really is seeing a real renaissance on how it used to be several decades ago when downtown was really a growing, vibrant community. Well, once again, it's a growing, vibrant community. There's retail stores that have been opened up, and they're going very successfully. Several of them that we've known. Lyons Indian Store.
Right.
They're doing good. They're doing well. Business is good. The Schwinn Bicycle Shop. They're doing great. There's a running store. A lot of good business there. There's several things going on that really are doing very, very well. And it's just not around the ballpark area. It's on in the Brady Street area, the Blue Dome area. Then you can expand into the 15th Street, Cherry Street area, Brookside. Everybody is doing very well.
Good. Vision 2025 was a big thing, not only for the city of Tulsa,
Mm-hmm.
but for other cities in and around Tulsa.
Right.
Is there more thought of coming back with another vision in the near future, or are we at a standstill at this point?
We are just now beginning the thought process of putting a small group together from the city and saying, okay, if we've done a good job of managing our money and managing the projects well, and if they are coming in on time and under budget, if we've done good work so far, if we've pretty well stuck with our commitments to the taxpayer, then let's start looking now at the next series of projects. What are our priorities? We're still several years away from a possible vote, but we need now to start accumulating those projects, and we need to understand ourselves, what should we be doing now, and what type of projects should we be focusing on, and which ones in the past we might have thought were a big priority, maybe now they're not, or reverse. Maybe because of all the development we've had in some areas of Tulsa, traffic has increased. So we need to look now at possibly some infrastructure change there. So now's the time to start the process. We don't want to be too late. So we really are, just this week, as a matter of fact, I've contacted a few of our city employees. Let's start the process. Nothing too official yet, but let's at least start accumulating information so we can see what we want to do.
Great. There's one thing that the citizens of Tulsa screamed about, and I even screamed about: fix our streets. How are we doing on fixing our streets? Because we see a lot of pylons out there. As a matter of fact, I wish I had stock in pylons.
Oh boy, I do too.
Yes.
We see all those pylons and all those orange cones scattered around town. That's progress in my view. Now, it gets in the way sometimes. Things don't happen quite as fast as they should sometimes, but we're working on them. And the areas of Tulsa where we have completed projects, as far as I'm concerned, people are extremely happy. I mean, it's very good quality work we're doing. We're inspecting them well. They're coming in under budget, usually on time or close to it. Weather's had given us a problem this past winter. That blizzard really knocked us back quite a bit. But now, of course, it's been dry and hot, and the construction side of it has been pretty good. So we are fixing our streets. Now, we started a process a couple of years ago. We had a big bond issue. We're not anywhere near completed on them, but we've done quite a few so far. And we're doing as many as we can, but we don't want to get it too far ahead of ourselves, because then we lose control of it, and we might not be inspecting properly, and we might let something get a little out of whack. We've recently made some changes to the relationships we have with some of our utility companies, especially with One Oak. And many times no fault of anybody, but many times we will have thought we were getting ready to work on a street and put the orange cones out, and we were anticipating that the utility was going to begin their work, because usually they're one of the first things that has to be moved or
Right.
altered is moving a water line or a natural gas pipeline or electric lines, things like that. But then a storm might hit someplace and they get taken away from the job for a month or two. So, but we're doing better on communicating with the utilities on when we put the cones out initially and when they're ready to work and when we can anticipate they're working. So that's helped us a lot.
Great.
So we're improving as we go along.
Mayor, I really appreciate your time, and I know our listeners out there and people that will be watching this podcast appreciate what you're saying about the city of Tulsa, because it is a great city. There's no question about it. It is a livable city. There's no question about it. And with you being our mayor, it'll continue to be that way, and we thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and I can assure you that it will remain that way because we want to make sure everybody's happy. We're in the business of being customer friendly. And if somebody has a problem, please give me the call, because I want to make certain that everybody's happy, because we need to show Tulsa for what it is. It's America's most beautiful, generous,
It really is.
positive city. So thank you very much, Johnny.
And thank you.
It's great to see you all, my friend.
Thank you.